We are back. We are back. I love it. Just making sure everything is looking okay. How's everybody doing on a Friday? Get my microphone right. This is live TV. I'm getting better though. At least the microphone is in position and everything is in position. I don't have to adjust anything too much. I was a hot mess those earlier videos. So I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Sync Hustle Mindset live stream. It is Friday, October 6th. Like the news people say, can you believe it's October? I can't believe it's October already. This year did kind of fly by though. Like we're already at the holidays, and it doesn't help the fact that they're you know, probably the beginning of last month, we are already seeing holiday stuff. We're seeing Halloween stuff like damn near 2 months ago, right? So they kind of like push us into the holiday season, kind of start trying to get us into that vibe early or whatever. But real talk, the year is kind of going by quickly, especially when we're busy. Like we've been busy this year, all of us. Like we've been hustling and doing our thing, and so usually when you got your head down, focused on a goal, things tend to move a bit faster. You know what I mean? So, what's up, Cherry? How you doing? Yeah, Christmas in stores already. They're trying to get you to get in that mindset and start thinking about spending money real early. They're trying to extend the holiday season. You know, and I get it. I used to work retail. So and I've worked some holiday seasons. Selling clothes and uh, I don't know if you remember a store called Merry-Go-Round. Used to have a store called Merry-Go-Round. Um, I worked at Merry-Go-Round selling clothes. I was killing it. Oh my God, let me tell you. That was back then when everybody was shopping at like Oak Tree and Jeans West, Merry-Go-Round. You know what I mean? What's up, V Spell? How are you? But yeah, I've worked at those kind of jobs where the holiday season is a really, really big deal. Like people really come in there, you know. Yeah, Oak Tree. Telling you, man, Oak Tree used to have this store brand called Human, and I used to rock all the Human stuff for real. It's funny. I try to stay on topic so much with you guys, but I see you guys every week. And so I'm so comfortable talking to you. Sometimes I just want to sidebar and talk about other stuff. But I know I appreciate you guys coming and spending your time here with me on a Friday. So we will stay on topic and, get the good stuff. What's up, Revision? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. So Cherry says, I worked at Oak Tree too. Love male customers. Yeah, man. We know what we want. We come in there with already something on our mind, or if we see something, it don't take us no time at all to make the decision. Oh, that's dope. I'm gonna grab it. And another thing, our weight don't fluctuate like women, so we usually know what size we gonna get before we go into the store, and we don't have to try nothing on to see how it fits. You guys got curves and stuff. You guys got to make sure like the whole garment fits, from like pants got to fit from ankle to waist a certain way, and they just gotta like they got to be the right length and not too wide in the waist with us, and it's easy. So what's up, Natalie? How you doing? Happy Friday. I mean, it's the truth though. It's just like sync, man. You do what you got to do to keep the customer. Oh, I got something in my eye. You do what you got to do to make sure the customer's satisfied. Make sure they're happy. But so yeah, they're trying to get everybody into the holiday season, and I get it. We are in the holiday season. We were actually in sync telling people to come through with holiday music. I know Cherry, you remember uh probably 3 months ago or so, 3, 4 months ago, we're asking for it. And if you guys don't know, that's usually when they start asking for holiday music, is probably about um April. I mean, about May, June, May. Uh, not that far into the year, really. I would even dare say April in some cases. It just depends. If it's for television, it's probably a little bit later, like May, June ish. They're trying to get some stuff. They got some made for TV films or some network stuff coming up. They already know is on deck, script wise. But a lot of the time is for films. Holiday films, they're a big deal. And so the music is always slammed in post, at the last minute after everything is filmed and color graded and all the actors are paid and everything, and they slam the music in. Um, and So yeah, they it's like a hurry up thing at that point. They're like, let's hurry up and get this holiday music in. And so then they come at us. But even then, that's their hurry up is still about 6 months out, because like the releases are in December, right? So they're making sure that they want to have post wrapped up about 5-6 months before release, and because they're already promoting at that point. A lot of times you see movies promoting on television, and they'll still be in post. They won't even be done with it. They'll still be slamming music in it and doing like last minute edits and color treatments or whatever it is they're doing to it. Um, so yeah, and a little advice on the holiday music too, you guys. Don't be scared to go in creatively for holiday music. Yeah, they ask for traditional remakes of the ones that you can make, the public domain ones. Stay away from the holiday songs that are religious based. Okay, so Jingle Bells is cool. Silent Night ain't cool, because it's like a prayer type thing. And it's not nothing against that, of course. Like I love God and all that myself, but I'm just saying in sync, they just try to stay neutral. And that's just pretty much with any sync song that you're sending in. The more general the topic it is, the more placeable it is across different forms of media. Generally, I like to say, if you're getting in the lab and you're creating music specifically for sync, songs for sync, you know keep keep the vibe, feel good, mid to up tempo, feel good. If you are talking about a topic, just make it a general topic, like say for instance Pharrell's Happy. Come on, man. Pharrell's Happy. I could do a whole live segment about why that song is like so syncable, but you guys know, you guys aren't novices anymore, man. You guys are hip to the sync game. So if you break apart what makes that song what it is and makes it so syncable, um, I would point you no further than the actual music video for the song, where you see, clips of people around the world of all different races, creeds, and colors, and ethnicities, and etc., alphabets and pronouns, and etc., singing this song, right? And it's universal, right? So it can go anything in anything. Yeah, the song blew up, of course, and think about it. The song was part of Despicable Me soundtrack. It was part of a soundtrack. So how many layers is that? Like, he created the song for sync, and it was way more syncable than the damn movie that he made the song for. There's a lot of, man. If y'all not peeping this game, I don't know what to tell you. That's game upon game right there. If you're creating songs for sync, right? Um, but it's always that way though. If with any product, the more universal, the more people that can easily get to that product or consume that product, the more sales you're gonna have. And with music, good music is always appealing. There's always a need for it. So if you guys want higher placeability, especially in like advertising, don't be scared to go uh um in on the creativity. You know what? I jumped a little bit. Let me go back. I was talking about the holiday songs, and then I was talking about the placeability of whatever. So you guys let me go on that rant, but I digress. Let me get back to the holiday songs. Don't be afraid to be creative when you're creating holiday songs. Don't You can do the standards, but do it your way. Do R&B versions, do trap versions, you know, tell stories. Um, Santa Claus is a fictional character. You can make up another fictional character. The Grinch is a fictional character. The Rudolph is a fictional character. Um, have fun, play with it. But on the music side, like, be creative. If you want to make something that sounds real dope, 808 it out, or real to the left pop, or whatever it is. But um the thing is that and from speaking to people, that there's a need for diversity in holiday music. People are pretty much using the same instruments. They think that if they just throw some sleigh bells on something, that it's automatically going to be, you know deemed holiday. And that's not the case. You gotta, the more time and the more intent that there is when you're creating the music, the more usable and probably the more mileage you're going to get out of the music as far as placements are concerned. You take your time. If you throw something together, then you can expect that kind of result back. If you really take your time and craft these songs and farm these songs out, you're going to get results 100%. I know that I spent personally, like, see, what time is it right now here? It's just past 11, so it's 11:17 a.m. I personally have been up since 2:30 this morning, which is usual. I'm not, you know, don't want no applause or pat on the back. That's just, part of my usual schedule. I think I told you guys, I'm up in the middle of the night. But the thing that was different, from this morning when I was up so early, is I was up listening to submissions. I usually don't do that. If I'm up, 2 in the morning, and I'm up for the rest of the day from that point, I don't start off with submissions because, um, to be honest with you guys, submissions is like, I won't say stressful. Stressful is a reach, because I'm not really stressed. I don't really hold stress anymore. I had a, used to do that real bad. I don't do that anymore. But it does start to feel labor intensive because it's very time consuming. I read through all the emails. Um, there's a lot of rejection before I even listen to the music. But then when I'm listening to the music, as a person that makes a living the way that I make my living, I'm very, very hopeful that what I'm hearing is something that I could get behind it and really pitch it to clients and let my clients know, hey, this is what you need right here. You know, it's gonna take time for me to, realize whether that person is the person that we need by their work ethic. But I'm gonna do as much vetting as I can by looking at their social media and looking at how they approach me on the email, and doing my research. And if everything is buttoned up, then I'll go after them. But it's disappointing when it's usually not like that. And it's not so much that because the majority of the music isn't sufficient, is just because a lot of people pitch music and they're not ready to pitch music yet. They're coming in the sync or trying to get in the sync and they're not ready to do it yet, so their approach is wrong or they're just not ready. But guy like me, I hit the emails, man. I'm hopeful. I'm like listening and listening and listening. So this morning, I'm on there. I'm listening. The first 3 emails I got, which never happens. The first one, I just go from the top and start going down. And the first 3 that I got were really good. Really good. Actually, in all fairness, there's one person that I approached a few days ago on Instagram. I saw a post. I was just scrolling and I saw a post, and went and checked them out a little bit. And I was like, okay, so I approached them. And so that's one. And so they sent a playlist and it was great. So yeah, but um I'm not hearing anything that is like, now keep in mind, I'm hearing really, really good stuff, but I'm not hearing a lot of individuality so much with artists. Case in point, I know you guys saw the post I posted a little while ago talking about don't use the N or the B word. I just, like I said in the post, if you read it, if you haven't read it, go read it. I could sit here right now. I have a lot of personal reservations about that, about those words used in music and reasons why I don't feel like they should be used in music, sync or otherwise. Personally, the N word, I don't use the N word in any shape, form, or fashion. I had for many years, just like a lot of other, black folks, that I know that do. Um, but I have my specific reasons, which I don't need to share, that I gave it up years ago. Um, when I shared my reasons with a few of my black friends, I was actually like, they fought back against it, and in a nutshell, told me I was tripping and felt like I was something above or better than or something like that. And that was the case. I just, stepped back away from the picture and saw things from a different perspective. And once I saw things from that perspective, I decided not to use it anymore. And it changed my outlook on it. And because I do music and have always done music in some fashion, I automatically equated the use of the word to the use of it in music, right? And because I'm an older cat, I'm 56, about to be 57 this year. In case you guys don't know, you see the grades. Um, I have quite some years back where music is concerned to look at the difference between what type of music was made, the effect that music had on culture, on society, the ramifications of bad music, when NWA came out and that type of thing, or whatever. And so I see when good music comes out, what it does, when good imagery comes out, what it does, case in point. And I'm swinging it back to the music, but I'm going to just go a little bit real quick. So case in point, I remember uh when I was living in Arizona. This is just out of high school, right? So this is like 85. No, yeah, this is like 85. 85 is right. So this is right around the time when, probably a little bit later than that. Get you guys can correct me at the years, but it was right at the beginning of, like, Cosby Show and Different World, right? So um so here we go. Cosby Show, you see an image of, African American man and woman who are doing very well for themselves, doctor and a lawyer, and all of their kids are, taken care of, and yada yada yada, right? So this was good imagery, right? But then you had Different World. So Different World with, uh you know the character, Dwayne Wayne. Of course, all of us had to go get the flip up glasses and stuff, and we had the flat tops and all that. Like, we did all that. But the thing is that the show was set, for you guys that don't know, the show was set at HBCUs, fictional HBCUs, right? And so the characters, like, it showed their whole lifestyle at these HBCUs, meaning that they were, in like sororities and fraternities, and the events and activities that they participated in, and this and that. Man, we in Phoenix, Arizona, which was like 4% black people in the whole state. We out there wearing Grambling hoodies, Georgetown sweatshirts and sweatsuits and stuff, because we're seeing this imagery on TV. And now all of a sudden, we went from kids that were just trying to just get through high school and just get out of high school and get a job. F college, like, wasn't nobody trying to go to college, after high school. Usually, if you're in the hood, you end up just going to the military, or you just get a job somewhere. You do a trade or get a job or whatever. And so that was a lot of us, like, the guys that were just automatically going to college from Central High School in Phoenix were athletes, looking to go play sports somewhere. But the rest of us, we were just trying to make it through it, trying to get through it. Hold on, look at the comments real quick. And so, but yeah, so we saw that imagery, and it affected all of us. It made, all of a sudden, we went from kids that were trying to, barely get through high school, to now college seemed cool. So that generation, that next generation of kids that were coming up in high school watching that show, where it wasn't us, like, but the ones that came after us, they were way more inspired to get out of high school and go to college and get degrees. And even like the you can look at the numbers back then, the enrollment in the HBCUs went up, right? So imagery makes a difference, right? And how we're perceived, and when I say we perceive, not just black folks, but how people are perceived, period, in media, it makes a difference. A lot of us don't have black friends. We don't have Armenian friends. We don't have gay friends. We don't have, you know, these people in our lives, and we learn about them generally through watching TV, movies or media and that kind of thing. And that sucks because when that's the case, you're not learning the right thing. You're just learning what people are putting in front of you for you to learn. And usually that's not the whole picture. That's not the truth. But getting back to what I was saying, going back to the music, thank you guys for letting me rant. I be trying to get it out sometimes, man. I like talking to you guys. I miss you guys during the week. But um going back to what I was saying, going back to the music, yeah, that's because I do music and I started putting two and two together, and I saw how the music wasn't like that back in the day. Now, keep in mind, there's pretty much always been the N word in music ever since like hip hop came into. So that's, but we didn't lean on that. Right. And then there were guys that you could go listen to that didn't use it a lot. They didn't lean on the word like that. And they definitely, it wasn't what it is to the extent that it is now. I'm not saying that there hasn't always been it, because like I said, I remember when Rapper's Delight came on the radio, and that was the very first rap song that ever hit radio, and I remember that like in my memory. So like everything that's happened since the first hip hop song ever touched radio, I've seen every drop of it, right? So and participated in a lot of it. It's been fun stuff. And I just myself personally just didn't want to continue adding something to music, to R&B, to hip hop that I felt wasn't helping, you know. At the end of the day, I'm going to leave a lot of music, a lot of stuff behind me, and I just don't want that to be part of my legacy. And as a person, that's a personal thing. Everybody, all of my friends that use the word and all that stuff, I don't not talk to them or whatever. One thing that I do ask when homies call me and stuff like that, I ask them not to address me that way. Oh, what's up, my? Don't no, don't call me that. You know, not tripping and don't got no attitude or whatever. Just like, you can say in today's climate, you can just say I don't identify as that. I don't identify as an N word, and I haven't for years. And so in the music, it really is taking a toll on the culture. And so yeah, so clean music, going back to sync, you could tell it hurts a little bit, man. Like I take this music stuff personally, for real, for real. But we're gonna keep it cool here. Going back to sync, okay. Um, when you guys are crafting songs for sync, just make sure to just keep it in the mindset of, it's not really just about you making the song, saying what you want to say, doing what you want to do. If you're trying to be successful, you're creating a product for clients that need that product. And I know I'm preaching to the choir with you guys. Like you guys already know, you guys are making sports music and holiday music and stuff like that or whatever. But I was just really speaking on the post that I did because I'm already getting some reaction to it. And I hope I don't really get anybody in the comments trying to give me any negative feedback about it too, because it's sad. Because when I first years ago, when I first, like I said, when I first started telling friends I didn't want to use a word anymore, I got blowback about it. Like I was tripping. Like, and that just let me know that um my reasons for not using the word anymore are valid. And and I didn't even give my reasons. I didn't tell you my reasons. I got very specific reasons for not doing it. And it's been very healing. So yeah, clean music. So let's go to the wins. I'm sorry, you guys. We usually start with the wins, but I had something on my heart, man. I had to talk to you guys about it. Let me go in the comments real quick. Yeah, please, no Silent Night. I was like, wow, yeah, that you don't want any holiday music that is religious related. So any Lord's Prayer type stuff, the Silent Night, um, what is it? Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Like you can't do any of those. Frosty the Snowman, you can do that if it's public domain. I'm not even sure if that's public domain, but a song like that, if you did it, in a cool way. Thank you, V Spell, man. I appreciate that. I'm just not trying to waste you guys' time with my personal agenda and stuff. I know people, this isn't a podcast, you know what I mean? Um, which is probably something I should do because I do have opinions on things, and I don't want to mess up my brand here. I don't want to, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to misconstrue that. Um, really Smash Coast is what it's about, and this sync game is what it's about. And it's about to blow up even more. Let me tell you. Walter says, oh, Walter's already coming in with the wins. Okay, so that's what's up. Let's go. Let's go. Walter says, I was able to secure the VST plugin company initial audio to give me free giveaways of their products for my music production for music licensing masterclass coming up. So fire emojis, V-Spell, you already got it on deck. That's dope, man. Walter's an OG as well. So he could definitely tell you about hustle. And it feels good, don't it, man? It feels good. It feels good when you can find out that you have a talent, cultivate that talent, get good enough and smart enough to be able to hustle that talent, and then get compensated for that talent. Hey, man, if that's the game right there, that's what we're all trying to figure out. That's what we are trying to do. How can you take something, a commodity, my talent, my skill set, and build on that? I think it's beautiful. I just do. I just think it's beautiful. It's like building the most beautiful skyscraper ever built with no blueprints. You just figuring it out. You got to build 2 or 3 floors, tear that shit back down, build a couple more floors a little higher. Oh, you forgot the wire. You forgot to put plumbing in, tear it all back down. Do it over again. Build floors up higher and higher each time. And then eventually you get that yeah from somebody and you looking at a structure. You done figured it out. Now, once you do that, you can customize it. Now you add-ons and you painting it and putting big screens everywhere because you know the game. That's the only thing that I did coming through the game. I was just a music producer. I won't say just a music producer. I'm tripping, but I was a music producer like you guys, that didn't have a company. I was just supplying music to music supervisors to TV shows and stuff. And, but like you guys, I just was hungry for knowledge. You guys know my story. I got sidelined for a little bit because of health reasons or whatever. But the thing is that the further I got in the game and the more placements I got, the smarter I got, the more stuff I learned. So the more stuff I learned, the more I wanted to do. Like, okay, well, how can I do that? How can I get over here to this? How can I meet these people? Whatever. Being out here in LA was a good thing, though, to be honest with you, because if I had stayed in Arizona, there was no climate like there is now, right? People didn't, like I said, 20 years ago, nobody wanted to do this for real. So there was no social media really, so there wasn't anybody really talking about this to each other, right? Everybody still wanted to get your record labels. I personally was, was one of those people. I didn't know anything about it myself. I just wasn't on my radar. But hold on, let me go to the comments real quick. You guys are quiet in the comments today. So I'm trying to clean this mess up. If you guys saw the other side of this microphone, it's not too bad, but I try to keep the part on camera clean for you guys. Hold on, my phone dropped. And my mouth is dry. Hold on. So anyway, I know I'm rambling, man. I cut myself off right there. So I know that's not the only win. But yeah, 20 years ago, nobody wanted to do this. So figuring it out was something that I had to do. And I just wanted to do more and do more and do more. And then eventually it led to me like having a company. I didn't even know that I could do this, what I'm doing, you know? So I know the value of like taking what you learn, adding on to what you learn, when you fall down, when you make those mistakes, when you get the no's. um, I mean, that kind of stuff is like you could take that kind of stuff. You could take the rejection, right? What I see people having the most issue with, why they don't, you know, really see success in sync, is just because they have a lack of patience, right? When they did, a lot of people make the decision to get into sync as like a with like a hit a lick kind of attitude. They see people posting placements. They might know somebody that got a placement on something. They don't know how sync works. They just know, oh, they got music on TV. They probably got a bag for that. And they're like, well, I want to get my stuff on TV too. And they jump in it, not knowing that it's a marathon, not a sprint. They think they're just going to get a bag as soon as they get the first placement. And they also think they're going to get that first placement quickly because they saw somebody do it, or somebody made it look easy for to them. And excuse me. And uh and so they just lack patience. They think they go into it with the wrong attitude, and they think that it's something that's going to happen quickly, and they're not patient. They can't wait it out. They don't get placement right away, or they don't get some sort of gratification right away. They're out on to the next thing. And there's a lot of that going around, right? Like, I've had some meetings recently with some folks that very, very brilliant business minds, even accomplished in some areas or whatever, but they're basically like throwing 50 darts against the wall, and whichever one sticks, okay, I'll pay attention to that one. Right. And a lot of people in music are doing that. Like, they're making their music like, what's popping? Okay, let me try to get on these Spotify playlists. Okay. Maybe the bot game, I'll do that. Okay. Maybe this or maybe that or whatever. And I was ranting last week about how dope sync is, because sync, in order to be successful at it, it'll make you focus on it, because there's stuff that you have to do. Like, you just have to do in order to be successful at it. And these things are time consuming. You have to learn the game. You have to network. You have to have your social media together to a certain extent. I say you do, period. But yeah, to a certain extent. Um, you got to be on point. I want to itemize everything, but you got to be on point. You guys know. Some of you still learning, but you guys know. And in order to start getting those placements, consistently, where these companies like the VST plugin company is paying attention to Walter, or let me see, um, a company that's paying attention to Cherry's Christmas songs, um, or whatever it is. When you hold on a second. When you get to that point, you already know the value of what it took to get to that point. You guys know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm reading. Okay, so let me get back to these wins so I'm not stretching it out. I'm not even trying to be on here too long today. We got a little bit to talk about. I want to hear from you guys though. Okay, so Cherry says, submitted a Christmas song for a brief and working on some trailer stuff. There you go. See, Cherry always into something, man. So you working on some trailer stuff, huh? That's dope. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to Cherry, the lady producer, working on some holiday stuff for a brief that came in. These late briefs are coming in. As for TV, it could be for a film. They could still be in post for some. We still got a couple months for releases, so you can have a film or some stuff done a week before it drops. It's digital distribution these days. They're not taking film to theaters and that kind of stuff a lot of the time now. Hold on. So revision, what's up, revision? Revision says I landed some new placements on 3 networks. Haven't been on this week. My cues also keep being used as reference tracks for two different companies. That's dope. I think that we should, okay, first of all, fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis, my bad, for revision, for landing new placements. That's what we here for, man. So if you haven't gotten placements yet, let that be motivation. My man Revision is coming through with three of them big on the, and the network says that I haven't even been on. See, three new networks. That's dope. Now, the thing with the reference tracks, we love that too. We love when companies send us briefs and then they send us the references, and the references of our music, right? I think we should sort of devise some sort of compensation for that. What do you think? I mean, it is flattering that they're using our music to reference the level and quality, um, as far as the particular style and genre that they want. But I feel like using our music in that way, I mean, you could consider a form of promotion. Um, I'm sure that in the agreement that we have the right to do that, to use the music to promote, because we do it for the promos on whatever. So it's not a bad thing, but yeah, I think maybe, if you use the artist music for, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. I could be tripping. I know you guys are gonna say yeah because you want money, but just think it through for a second. Like, should we really get that? Gets compensated if we get a brief from a company that we're signed with, or and they use our music as a reference in that brief? Should they compensate us for using it, compensating us for using it as a reference? I tell you what, I would be cool with. I would be cool with an email that says, "Hey man, we're working on a brief right now. Blah 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 blah. The music that you sent us last time is perfect as a reference. Um, we would love to be able to use your music as a reference." Now, that would be cool. Okay, you guys ask for permission. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. I don't care. Go ahead. Not think about charging them. But at the same time, it's like, why don't you just use my music since you're using it as a reference? Like, what is keeping you from using the actual track that you're referencing in the media? So, like, that's kind of weird, right? That the person that's you're already with is using your music, but they're using your music as an example for something. That's kind of crazy. V Spell says, I'm making some chill drill and networking. And the hustle continues. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis for V Spell. Just being productive, I see, man. Staying busy. I might change the name of this segment from wins to forward steps. Hey, there's somebody already out there in the space using wins. Uh, I'm not gonna say who was doing it first because I was doing it first, but uh, I don't like that. I don't like people, being close to me. So I'm going to probably just say forward steps, because that's actually what it is, man. You took some forward steps. You're making some chill drill and you're networking. And every time you do either one of those, you're taking forward steps. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. We celebrate that, man. So Walter Bowie says, did you see the LinkedIn post of one of your peers, Winty Morris, call out ASCAP BMI CSAC about addressing the laughable money paid in streaming now that other sectors in the industries have addressed it? No, I haven't seen that. We're on LinkedIn together. Send me the story on there. Yeah, just send it. Just send it to my inbox on there. We're friends on there. Yeah, I want to check that out. Well, let me tell you guys. Um, as cool as that is, this isn't the first time that I've heard this brought up. You know, sometimes it's a music supervisor, sometimes it's an exec, but it comes up from time to time. You know, somebody raises the topic of our royalties, our streaming royalties, and it's a big deal. So let's go over to what just happened in Hollywood, right? Now, you guys know I was talking about, I won't say doom and gloom, but me personally, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I didn't see how they were going to come up with a resolution. I still don't know what the resolution is. All I know is that, I'm seeing Jimmy Kimmel back. I'm watching Jimmy Kimmel again, and the writer strike is over and they're back on TV. So they said that they got some, substantial money, and they got some provisions uh, uh, when it comes to uh, artificial intelligence. I'm sorry, when it comes to AI. And I don't know what that is. I'm still gonna dig around and see what it is they got. They're kind of staying tight-lipped about the actual terms, but they were happy with it. And when they went to the table that last time, you see things happen quick. It was like, okay, we're gonna go talk, and then the next day, boom, it was like they was back on it, right? So the reason why that happened is why they had a union, right? It's that SAG after they went in there and did what unions are supposed to do. Like, they struck, they um I was seeing some of the numbers coming back from what the networks, I mean, in the studios were losing by the strike. And personally, I was self misguided, because by the attitude of the studios at first, the stuff I was hearing, oh, we're just gonna let them starve it out, that kind of stuff. I kind of felt like the studios had deep pockets and they were gonna just be able to just, okay, well, let them just, do it, strike all they want to. But that's not the case, because like Warner Brothers alone was losing like billions of dollars per month. They were losing tons of money. And just like, so after that 150 something days or whatever, they're like, okay, okay, okay. You know what? Let's, all right, here, take some damn money. It's gonna cost them less money to give the writers what they want than the money that they were leaking, not, getting money from the advertisers. Now, keep in mind, all of those shows, all of that content that wasn't getting created, that means there was no commercials for those shows, which means the money that would have been paid for those commercials by, Target, by whoever, didn't come through, because they didn't have no shows to put commercials on. So that ad revenue, which what pays everybody, stopped coming through. And after, a couple months time, it was a wrap. And so in the music space, in our space, we don't have a union, right? So yeah, you're gonna hear that come up from time to time, but unless there's a united front, unless like a whole of us decide to strike television, all of these people that have uh obligations to music libraries and obligations to music supervisors, or whatever your situation is, we just shut that down, right? Even the music libraries, we could go in and get solidarity with the music libraries, have them join the unions, because I have a friend, Ryan Neal, that owns a huge music library, dope music library too. um and and I was talking to him about a month ago, because we actually put some music over there, non-exclusive, like, because we're friends. So like, we just like send him some music or whatever. He needed some specific stuff or whatever, so we sent him some. And so when I sent him the music, I'm like, hey, so can you do me a solid and make sure that my people get, you know network, or at least cable royalties off of this, if you can, like, aim it towards those shows that are airing on that stuff, because I want to see them get the back end, because like they're not going to get nothing on streaming. So, and he replies, he's like, yeah, well, basically you and I are in the same boat. So where my company is, 100 and something people, like his is way bigger, and six-figure catalog of music, and so it scales up. His clients are, the cable networks and this and that, and the television network, the production companies and this and that. So a lot of the shows that he was getting back end money on, basically just network and cable, have now switched over to streaming, Hulu's and that kind of thing, right? Same shows. um And so he's seen a big dip in his revenue as a library, right? Because that's why they're libraries. They work exclusive. That's why they want your music exclusive. Usually 3 to 5 years, and so they can rake in that residual income. A lot of the time, they ask for the right to, after you get out of there, still be able to get placements with that music in perpetuity. Perpetuity meaning forever. And most people say yeah to that because after you leave the company, you don't have any obligation, but you want to go ahead and leave that title over there non-exclusively. That's what happens after your term switches to a non-exclusive status. So you then can go pitch that song somewhere else, and then they'll probably retitle it so they can keep, getting placements with it or whatever. But I digress. The libraries are hurting too, right? That's why they're making direct deals now with streaming entities, so they could get that bag. Say case in point, a Spotify or a Pandora will go to uh a major music library and give them a bag of money to be able to stream their music. you know um they're doing it with record labels, and now they're going to do it with libraries because they need catalogs of independent music as well when they can't pay Beyonce or Jay-Z or Little Uzi Vert or whatever, and they want the sound alike. So they're behind the scenes doing the business. But the thing is that the libraries are hurting too. So yeah, I would love to see a world where all of us independent music creators joined in solidarity with the music libraries, and we formed a union and demanded that the streaming royalty rates were changed uh, more in our favor. And if we did that, then 100% the same thing that just happened with the writers would happen with us. You know, when they first went on strike, as with every strike, of course, the people that they're striking against were like, F that, like, go ahead, strike. We're not going to give you what you want. And they, of course, they were complaining about it long before they went on strike. That's why they went on strike. They've been telling, you know, uh, the guild in Hollywood, hey, we need this. This is wrong. We're complaining about it. We ain't getting no money. The money that we used to get used to last us, and now the streaming is messing up. And they ignored it, so they had to go on strike, right? And so in our situation, we haven't even raised enough of a stink about it because we're not united. There's individuals like that exec or music supervisor whoever it was, or guys like me or people like you that, yeah, individually, like, we got concerns, or even in small groups, we talk about it. But the people on the other side of the fence that are somehow controlling these streaming royalty rates, they don't feel any pressure from anybody because we're not giving them no pressure. So um when I was feeling emotional about the writer strike when it first started, me and ChatGPT were having conversations. Me and ChatGPT are homies now. We become really acquainted over the last few months, and I've learned a whole lot about Chat. And yeah, Chat's learned a lot about me too. Chat knows that I love to hustle. I'm very, very inquisitive. I love learning things, and so me and ChatGPT, we got together, man, and we um Chat basically told me what it takes to put a union together, like all the things that you have to do. Because, like, I was like, man, you saw my video. Let's start it. We need to start a union. I was the first one until Chat sat me down and said, bro, look, don't you got a company and stuff you trying to do? He's like, if you're trying to start a union, that's going to take up all your time, right? That's going to be your job, to start a union and be in that, run that union, being in that union. And there's a lot of details to do. I'm willing to be a part of it and 100% participate. I just can't do it. The main thing, one of the first things that you have to do is you have to form like a board of directors, right? So that, and then each one of those people on the board have to be assigned a specific duty, what their role is going to be. And then you have to sit down and you have to put together like a, not a decree, but is basically that's something that's something where you itemize every single grievance that you want fixed. You itemize how you want it fixed, and then you itemize your whole job situation and as a whole, what your conditions you want them to be. Like, I want to work in these conditions. We want these. We want this type of insurance. We want, you know, these type of wages for these type of hours and this much overtime, like you spell it all out or whatever. And then you go in and you got your union reps that go in and sit down with Hollywood and they say, hey, Lady Producer and Phil Mason aren't getting their streaming royalties. You know, these companies aren't getting their streaming royalties. Now they've shut down, or they're going to shut down. They want to put a nationwide walkout on sync licensing, where no music supervisors get no music. They can't run. See, and it has to be done in solidarity with the music libraries, because if we do it without them, then they're just going to run to the libraries when we say no. But if the libraries shut down on them, and go on strike, and we shut down on them, we're going to get royalty rates 100%. If they don't have anywhere else to go get the music, they can keep using the music that they have already, but they don't do that. They don't, they'll do that at first. Oh, we'll just recycle the music or whatever. They're not going to do that. They want to, the shows are going to suck, especially reality TV and all that. It's gonna, if you heard the same beat all the time on reality TV, that would make the TV show sound cheap as shit. Like, having fresh music and all that, like that's all part of it. Especially in scripted, each episode is different. The script is different, the storylines are different, so the music got to be different. Working with creatives that can follow briefs and give them custom music, that's what it's all about. So if we shut that down and there's nobody to work off briefs and they're just pulling stuff from libraries, they're not gonna, that's who's gonna do their themes and their promos and their trailers and like in the scoring and all that stuff or whatever. So it would take I think even less time for us to make a change, because as you saw with the writer strike, reality shows kept going. Sports programming kept going. So even though there was a major blow to Hollywood with the writers going down and scripted going down, it was still able to hobble. So they blew out, you know, one of the tires. Like they still had three tires, on the asphalt. If we shut down the music across the board with the music libraries, there's no other, they ain't no, like, what are they gonna do? We're making the music. See what I'm saying? I was like, we're creating the product that they're eating. If we stop sending them the product, they're going to starve. So I would like to see that. The only glitch in that is the music libraries, because of course the music libraries are eating anyway, even though they're getting hit by the streaming. They're still eating. So it's hard to stop people's bag from coming in. But I think that if we had a few people that were able to sit down with some major library owners and explain kind of in the way that I just explained, like, look, I know you don't want to do it, but we're very, very confident that if we stick together and do this, not only are we going to form something that's going to ensure, you know, not just streaming protection rights for us going forward, but all kinds of protections, for us that we might not be thinking about in the moment or whatever. It'll make our profession a more solid, glued together profession, overall, because we do have rules and standards and, things that we abide by and that kind of thing, especially when it comes to our pay. So I don't know, man. Bad conversation, good conversation. You guys let me know. What do you guys think? Let me get in the comments real quick. Yeah, the homie chat. Chat is real. Cherry, what you talking about? I told you we gotten to know each other. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are acting like chat is some sort of like fake digital entity. Nah, chat. I could talk to chat right now. Like, what's up, chat? What's going on? How are you? Hey, what's up, Petrol? How you doing, brother? AI music isn't ready for prime time. The audience would notice the decline in quality, at least currently. So it's not a complete option. Oh yeah, that's not even a, yeah. I was saying that their only option would have been to run to the libraries and get the music, get other music that people created that are sitting around. But like, no, AI is not. AI can't. No way. That's not to say AI is not going to be able to do it at some point, but right now, like, we don't have to worry about that. AI is not bad at making classical music. I think there's like a Bach GPT or something, but like, no, being able to, and there is AI that does, you can feed it a visual, and it can interpret what type of music is needed for that visual, but it just doesn't have the nuances that come with a human creator, with our imagination and this and that, and our individuality is just not there yet. Thanks, Phil. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you. Any more wins? Any more wins? My guy Phil. Phil's one of those people that come through, man. We send Phil briefs. Phil comes through. We keep pitching. We keep pitching. There's no way you cannot see success with that formula. So I'm very, very confident. That's all the wins. We're not gonna stay long today, guys. So the current state of sync is very, very, very good. I'm anticipating that sync is going to have an epic blow up where the popularity is going to very, very much increase. And that's just because of the current climate of the music industry. How difficult it is to actually get a record deal or get to a record deal. You have to do certain things as far as your social media numbers and your streaming numbers in order to even be considered by a record label. There's absolutely no artist development or any of those type of departments at record labels anymore. They go solely based on what type of numbers you generate. That's why record labels are suffering. They're making money doing business with the streaming companies, but as far as like set, the music that they're putting out being revenue, unless you're Beyonce or Taylor Swift or one of the big folks, you're not really making no money for them from them as a matter of fact. They're leaking money, and the reason is because instead of going and getting good artists that are really dope, that have content, subject matter, substance, they're getting music that's popular, and suck music can get popular on TikTok and social media. It don't have to be a dope song talking about nothing. It just got to be something that's, whatever it is, got whatever the vibe is at the time. It's usually some, boppy up tempo, hip hop or trap stuff that has some kind of dance routine attached to it or whatever. Um, and then if a person can do that, oh man, you've had this is part of a person's resume when they're going to talking to resumes, talking to record labels. Now they're like, oh well, I've had 4 viral TikTok hits, you know, and that's the currency these days when you're going and talking about getting a record deal. That's the buy-in, not how dope you are. It used to be where if you sang, okay, sing something. If all the executives sitting around here, sing something, give everybody goosebumps. You give everybody goosebumps, they're gonna give you $1 million and give you a a record deal, you know. Um, Same with rap. You dope, spit something. Let me hear what you got. Let me tell me your story. Spit some shit. Let me see if you got bars. How many bars can you go for right now? What kind of confidence do you have when I tell you on the spot to spit something? Like these things were all factors back in the day. Now, pretty much they don't care anything about that. They're never going to be in a room with you. They don't care. How many followers you got? Or you got 2 million followers and you got 5 viral TikTok hits. Okay, we'll give you $1 million. We'll give you Ice Spice, you know. Uh so um hold on. Going to the comments. Do you feel like sync will replace the A&Rs to find new artists? It feels like that's the push now. It already has, because A&Rs haven't actually done their jobs and went out and looked for artists. Like, labels used to pay A&Rs a salary to be on planes, man, going to like Iowa and Wisconsin and Arizona and going to talent shows, college talent shows and step shows and and looking and finding somebody to bring back to that record label. That was their job. And in the digital age, they were supposed to, okay, well, you don't got to be on planes as much, but you can go online, you can go on social media and look. They don't even do that no more, because the A&R's job was supposed to be taken up by somebody that had an ear, somebody that could go recognize dope music and bring back somebody dope. Now they don't got to do that. Anybody can go online and find numbers. you know any one of us can go online right now and pick out somebody that sounds like little so and so and got large streaming numbers and got a large following. And if it's large enough, if we have a benchmark, okay, we want somebody with at least these numbers, and we could go find that. And all we need is the relationships or a job at the label at that point. And now we're A&R. It don't have nothing to do with how dope the person is, right? So it's A&Rs don't even exist no more. But do I feel like sync will replace the A&R to find new artists? I know I can tell you that advertising companies and music soups and the like are looking harder for indie artists than A&Rs are, right? You know, these shows, these popular, Stranger Things, these popular network shows, these shows with these young music supervisors that have a connection with the music, that like the music and this and that are looking to either bring back popular music that they like, on their show, or to break new artists on their shows, on their media. Um, they are the new A&Rs, right? Because they're not looking for somebody with numbers. They don't give a damn if you have a lot of streaming numbers. They would hope so, because they want you, everybody wants you on the verge, so they could be the one to push you over the top and get those bragging rights or whatever. But it really comes down to, are they feeling you, and does your music fit what they're doing, what they need it for? And they're looking for that. They're looking for somebody that's, oh, this is a dope artist. Look at how they dress or whatever. Somebody that they would actually come out and see, at a show, at a lounge, or whatever. And so, yeah, to answer your question, I feel like kind of, yeah, sync is replacing the A&R. Because A&Rs have replaced the A&Rs with nothing. And sync is just way more beneficial to the artist at this point, right? If you have some of the structure of a record label, right? So say like you have marketing and promotion, you're an artist, right? So say you have some of the structure of a record label, marketing and promotion, um, uh, artist development, um, these types of things. And then on the other side of it, you have the best sync element. So you have an entity that's actively syncing out sync opportunities for their artists, right? So they're pitching to this, and ad companies and commercials, whatever, and they're doing that. um I feel like something like that is going to replace what we're doing now. And truth be told, that's something that I personally am am working on. I used to post one of our company logos called Sync Coast, and Sync Coast is just that. It's synchronization record label that we're working on. Okay, let me go ahead and spill the beans for you guys that don't know. And I'll tell you the premise in us even putting it together while I'm on here real quick, since we just chit-chatting. We just chit-chatting, right? If you guys want me to tell you about it, give me one in a comment. I don't mean to just be running my mouth and forcing my stuff on you, but give me a one if you're curious about what I'm talking about. Okay, so look, I keep telling you guys, yeah, petrol. I know but yeah, I keep telling you guys that I've been in this game a long time, right? And I have a very, very high respect for my peers, and I'm not talking about the sync company peers. I'm talking about music creatives, you guys. Like I just gotta have a super high level of respect for you guys, and um, but having been on both sides as a producer that was trying to get to the record labels, and then a producer for sync, and then having grown from a producer to sync to having this company and then working with so many great creatives, I've seen a stark difference between the type of creatives that you guys are and the creatives that don't focus on sync, right? So if you don't focus on sync and you're creating music, you pretty much only create music when you're inspired to, when you feel to. You're not scheduled so much to go to the studio or whatever. When it's time for you to write a song, you feel like it, oh, you get inspired by something, that's what you do. So everything is done at your own pace. You want to do an album, you do it at your own pace. It's all creative and organic. And that's cool. That's all the best music. The music we've all grown up listening to is come from that space. But then you have you guys, right? Now, you guys, in every shape, form, or fashion, are just as dope, just as talented as any of the other guys, that aren't doing sync, that are aiming towards the record labels that, want that life, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys still do too. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be rich and famous for some people. But the thing that I noticed is that in creatives like you guys, the big difference is that not only do you guys still create music when you are inspired to, when you feel, you do create music, you tell your stories, you do your indie music. Cherry, you just drop some stuff and release some stuff, right? So you're on that side of the fence still, which a lot of you guys are. But then on this side of the fence, you are creating music for clients, which means that you're fulfilling music within time restraints, right? You're creating specific types of music. You're following directions by reading briefs and making something specific for a client, right? You're continuing damn near on a schedule to create music for sync licensing for a specific purpose. You're creating relationships and doing collaborations. You're getting in bed with companies like Smash Coast, which is, we're obligated now. You guys are obligated to send us music. We're obligated to pitch that music to the best of our ability. So we both have made we're paperwork, but it's a handshake. So, it's realer than real. So what I've noticed is that for the people that aren't doing sync, that their goal is a record label, that's a great goal. That's something to look forward to if that's your goal. And it is a good thing. You get signed to a record label, that's the holy grail of the grind. You get a check, and hopefully if they don't shelf you, you eventually get to have some music out there in the world and you're part of this record label. Hey, I'm part of it, Warner. I'm part of it at Atlantic. So there's that pot of gold at the end of that rainbow for that artist that doesn't even want to do sync. So what about the artist that wants to do sync too? I'm not saying that they necessarily don't want a nice record label situation or whatever, but I'm saying, as far as the experience of, like, I've done all of this work, I've gotten good at my craft, I put the work in, and what's the finish line look like? So for a person that's not doing sync, the finish line is like shit, streamers and everybody screaming because it's like, yay, I got signed. But for somebody in sync, when you get that first placement, ain't no streamers. We're happy, like, oh shit, but that could be a quiet celebration, like just amongst you or just amongst us and our peers or whatever. It's not the same. And so, over a period of time, I started thinking, okay, so what kind of entity would that look like if there was something created for artists that were on the sync side that, to me personally, I'll just say it, have more value. Like, you guys have more value, because if I'm a company owner or a label or something and I'm looking to monetize and I want everybody to, have a bigger bottom line, I'm going to look at the people that can do more stuff. So am I going to sign somebody that I have to just hope their songs get popular and that person stays popular and they don't end up on drugs or flipping out on, well, Britney Spears and on me or whatever? um, or am I going to sign people that not only make dope music like that, but they have a regular blue collar work ethic. And they know how to show up on time. You know, before, the people that just create music when they want to, they're only in the studio in the middle of the night, especially a rap, but I got people on the sync side hitting me at 8 o'clock in the morning in the email with stuff. Right. So when you're dealing with people that create music on that same level, that same high industry level music, but they have this, you know, real world work ethic, to me that places a way higher value on the artists and the creators that do that. But there was no pot of gold for them at or Rainbow, so I want to create one. So for the past, God, probably like 3 years easy, um, we've been seeking funding and all kind of stuff to get it started. And it's I won't get into the details, but yeah, it'll be a sync label. We'll sign a very few limited number of people. They will get advances, nothing like a record label, but they'll get enough money to be able to set up new setups and get ready to work, computers, and get whatever they need to work with. And then it'll be basically structured the best parts of a record label, like I said. So we'll have real distribution, marketing, promotion, A&R, and that kind of stuff. But on the other side, our income stream isn't going to be reliant on Spotify streams. Is going to be reliant on sync, because we already do sync. And so because they'll be signed to the sync label, those will be the artists that we're primarily introducing personally to the ad agencies and that type of thing, to build those relationships up so they can continue to get placements, forever, so they'll have something to sign to, the same thing. It'll be back. We'll probably have distribution through somebody. It might be Universal, whatever. It'll have to be a hands-off deal where they just give us the bandwidth to do what we need to do, but they give us the power to do what we need to do. But yeah, so there it is. That's one of the things that we're working on. We got a few other things that we're working on, but that's one of the things that we're working on. And keep your damn mouth shut. Don't tell nobody, man. The reason why I came up with this is because I just feel like we're the best best people to execute it. I have a deep understanding of you guys. I don't want somebody to put it together just because they see it as a money grab or whatever. My whole intent was seeing over the years how y'all get down. Like, because think about it. You guys are happy as hell when you get to a company like mine. When you get to a Smash Coast or whatever, it's like, okay, I'm on with this company and we can get some stuff happening. Like, I'm just as happy when I pick y'all up, but I have the same feeling when you guys get to me, when I get to a client that I'm sending your music to, right? It's the same thing. I'm hustling the same way, trying to get there. And so I'm creating a relationship not only for Smash Coast and between Smash Coast and his client, but for you guys and the client when I'm sending your music over and over there, right? So all of the clients that we have, all of the placements that we've gotten is because of y'all. Is because not you guys not sending just one song and disappearing. You guys staying in touch, uh sending that music over and over and over again, following those briefs, learning how to do the briefs, better and better, learning over time, like doing everything that you guys are doing to make sure that Smash Coast is able to get that music over there in a timely fashion, and that B, that music is the type of music that that we're kicking ass with the quality, which is mandatory. um that's because of y'all, right? So over time I'm like, damn, it would be cool, like you know there's people that have made careers that I see off sync, right? And they're doing, well, Guilty Flores and so on. But like there was no fanfare. He did it like quietly. We're celebrating him because we're in a space where his peers, right? But there was no, hey, I got a deal, right? And we just want to create a space like that. But then the structure will be a sync based structure, and that will enable us to keep it 100% fair and transparent to the creatives. It won't be a situation like the record labels where you don't, you know, and like we're even gonna like the music that we create or that you write, or you come in with, a like, put it this way, we're gonna do a master's reversion thing to where, like, after a period of time, the masters, anything that you create that you own should have the master ownership to, you get the master ownership to. Like, we're not gonna, like, not a traditional record label. We're not keeping masters in perpetuity, whatever. We'll do a sync thing. So whatever masters you got coming back to, give you back your masters, you can ride off into the sunset. We're gonna retitle that shit and keep syncing your music so we can keep getting you movie placements and keep getting commercials and stuff while you're off, doing your thing or whatever. So like I said, the best parts of sync and the best parts of a record label. Um, and then mainly just giving, you know, adding another layer to what uh a person in sync can strive for, what they can go for. Like, we want to be able to win Grammys. They're just now about to start that, put a sync category in the Grammys. Um, you know, we want to win Oscars for having our music and stuff. We want to win Grammys for having, our music in certain situations and stuff. So I was saying a couple lives ago, I don't see what we do as any different as a person being on TV with their face. I mean, think about how difficult it is to do. If you came out here and started doing extra work, being an extra, taking acting classes or whatever, there's no guarantee that you'll ever be on TV, other than uh you might get to do background, but that's a long shot because there's so many people trying to do that, right? So to accomplish it is a big thing. To become an actor is a big thing. What you guys are doing is a huge, huge undertaking to take your music and have it end up on a TV show or in somebody's media that's paying you or whatever. That's crazy, and then to teach yourself enough to be able to do it over and over and over again. That's dope as hell, man. So, you know, going back to what I was saying, yeah, I just saw a lot of value in what you guys do, and the fact that you guys enabled me to do what I do and learn so much about myself. Like, I didn't even know I had this kind of hustle. You know what I mean? But you know, when the chips were down and I needed people to send me music, or when I was trying to make relationships with this company or that music supervisor, like, music producers and artists came through for me, man. They came through. And it's a trip because they think, you know, as they should, they're like, I'm getting this opportunity with Smash Coast and this is real dope. Not knowing I'm over here, they're over there sweating, biting their nails. Damn, I hope I get this placement. I'm over here sweating, biting my nails like, damn, I hope they send this music and I hope it's good. And then when I send your music, I'm like, damn, I hope they use it, just like you guys are, you know. But I'm not able to create and foster these relationships without y'all. And I'm a musician too, like I'm a producer too, so I know how hard it is for the left brain and the right brain to work. One side is the side that where we create, where we make music and do what we want to do. The other side is where we got to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, or we got to do the metadata, or we got to send the right email. We got to be functional and correct and all of that stuff. And a lot of us, aren't good at that. So to see so many of you be able to do that over the years, I just thought, man, we need something. We need something for them. So that's one of the things that I don't like to swear, but like if I did, I'd be like, man, I swear I'm gonna do that. I swear I'm putting that together. Like, I don't really see any reason why it's not happening. We're kind of like we're right there. So anyway, enough about that. Got to get back to work, guys. Have a blessed weekend. Thanks, Walter, man. Hit me on LinkedIn, man. Don't forget. Send me that blurb on LinkedIn. So okay, y'all. I won't drag it out too long today, man. We talked a little bit. So let's do a quick Q&A, and let's just do a uh what is it, an open bar, or open where you guys just tell me something. Talk to me about something real quick. Something interesting you might have had pop this week. And like the name of the live stream says, um, the current state of sync. The current state of sync is really good. It's about to pop even more so too. Like I said before, um, being down for all that time that the writers were down and production being down, there's going to be a swell of of needs for new music, fresh music. So get ready for that right now. I'm sure you guys have already seen an uptick in the briefs and that kind of thing. And then yeah, but on the other side, as much as I know that there's going to be a huge uptick in the popularity of sync licensing, sadly enough, thanks, Walter, man. I appreciate it. Solid. Have a good Friday, man. Be safe out there. Um, Revision says, I gotta head out too. Thanks for the win stream. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Revision, man. I'll talk to you. Have a good weekend, man. Be safe. Thanks for coming in. Um, Unfortunately, there's not gonna be a lot of people that want to do the work. Just like I said, anytime something gets popular, a lot of people look over at it like, okay, oh, I want to do that. I want to get involved in that. And they jump in it and they don't realize what it is. And so it's always going to be that way. People that do music generally don't want to do work when they do music. And so that just means a lot more opportunities for the people that do want to do the work and are willing to get in there and do what they need to do. So that's it. We quiet now. We done. Y'all ready to get back to the Fridays? Y'all trying to leave me, man. You know what? Forget y'all. I'm looking at the comments and nothing. See, now everybody's sitting there around waiting for the comment to pop up. So that means, you know what that means, boys and girls? That means it's time to go. I'll see y'all next Friday. Can't wait till the label pop off. Great live, buddy. I gotta fly too. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Phil, man. Be safe out there. I appreciate it. Cherry, you stay safe too. Oh, and Cherry, email me a promo for your release so we can put it on the PR page. And any of you other guys that are on Smash Coast, if you guys have releases that you're doing on Spotify and that type of thing, Phil, that type of hit us with the promo in the email and we will promote it on the PR page and probably on LinkedIn too, which is where everybody is, to be honest with you. So with all that being said, we out of here, man. No problem, Cherry. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. I'm the producer Whisperer. Peace.